All right, guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about pain from a biblical and scientific perspective. Now, before I begin, pain is a very complicated topic. We got fentanyl and drugs of addiction and all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to focus on pain today, and then later we're going to create videos on those other topics. So let's get rolling. So, what does the Bible say about pain? Well, pain came about because of the fall of man. You see, God put man in the garden. He told him to dress it and keep it. Life was going to be wonderful, no pain, no suffering, no sorrow. But man refused to obey God, and so God cursed man. He first cursed the woman. He said, "In sorrow shalt thou bring forth thy children." He also cursed the man. He said, basically, in sorrow you're going to work of the ground and make a living and provide for your wife, your kids, and everything else. And eventually you're going to die. And this curse is going to be fully lifted in Revelations 21:4, because God is going to wipe away all tears. There's going to be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, no more pain, because the former things are passed away. So while here on earth, before Revelations 21:4, unfortunately we're going to have pain, because God cursed the ground, he cursed man, so now we have things like broken bones, we have thorns, whereas before those things did not exist. So because of the fall, we now get hurt. And so what we need is a way of knowing when we're getting hurt. So this is where pain and pain receptors come from. And so you get hurt, the pain receptor sends the message from your skin to the spinal cord. So how does it know when to fire? Well, it's looking at, number one, how much squish are we dealing with? How much temperature are we dealing with? Are there chemicals from your cells leaking out, right? These are all signs that, hey, you're being hurt here. And so then that message goes from the spinal cord, crosses over, and goes up to the thalamus. Now the thalamus has to decide whether or not you're hurt, right? Do I want to send this message from the thalamus up to the somatosensory cortex, right? Now if it does that, right, what are you going to say? Oh, my pinky or my head or whatever, that part of the somatosensory cortex is getting the message. All right, so how does it make that decision? Well, it looks at how loud of a message is going up here, right? So, I hurt isn't going to generate the response of, I really hurt, this is really bad, right? So because it's louder, I got more nerves that are sending the message of ow, ow, ow. The thalamus is way more likely to send that to the somatosensory cortex, and we're going to rate that pain a lot higher. Okay, the other thing that we're looking at is, remember all those things I mentioned, like the snake bite, walk on hot coals, touching a doorknob, tying your shoes, holding your wife's hand or whatever, right? Those are all activating pain receptors, right? All those things are painful. Notice the air quotes here, right? So we're sending this message up to the thalamus, ow, right? But, holding your wife's hand shouldn't be a painful endeavor, all right? So why doesn't that hurt? Well, all of those things, including the snake bite, also activate touch receptors. And so I'm sending the message up to the thalamus, he's touching me, right? And so now the question becomes, which is louder? Is the he's touching me louder than the ow, right? And so if ow is louder than he's touching me, all right, what happens? You hurt. If he's touching me is louder than ow, all right, you just feel that you're being touched, right? Now, acute pain tells us, hey, we're being hurt over here, right? But chronic pain, what happens, the spinal cord messes up a little bit here. And so this pain signal just keeps going back and forth from the thalamus to the spinal cord. And so what happens? The first time through, it hurts. Second time, it hurts. Third time, it hurts, right? So each time it's getting louder and louder, and you're feeling more and more pain. And so I could just go in the circle all day long, and the pain's going to get worse and worse and worse, and there's no reason for it to stop, which that's not helpful. So chronic pain going on for 3 or more months, and it's not being helpful. So 85% of those in chronic pain are depressed. And no wonder, right? Nobody likes to be in pain. And unfortunately, if you're in a lot of pain for a long period of time, you're 2 to 3 times more likely than the general population to kill yourself, commit suicide. All right? And a lot of times, they'll use the very medicine they were prescribed for their pain. So that's opiates. So 1 out of 6 cases of suicide due to chronic pain, they actually use opiates to do it. So here are my resources, and watch out because I'm going to be sending another video your way on the drugs we use to manage pain.